Welcome, my friends, to Gare du Nord train station in Paris, France. Today, we are going to be taking a 3-hour, 20-minute train ride to Cologne, Germany. We're going to be taking the high-speed train. A German friend of mine was telling me this is a very famous train ride, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it. Now, Gare du Nord is an enormous station. It has the metro lines. There are some buses behind me now. And of course, it has the long-distance trains as well. So here's the plan today. I'm going to show you my experience getting around Gare du Nord. I'm going to show you what the train ride is like, of course. And then when we arrive in Cologne, Germany, I'll quickly show you that experience as well. Because I hear that Cologne is a very beautiful city. Paris, of course, is very beautiful as well. I would like to note that if you do research on Gare du Nord, you will hear it's one of the more dangerous parts of Paris. I mention that so people can decide for themselves if that's within their comfort zone. But for context, I'm obviously a tourist. I'm carrying a suitcase. I have a camera in my hand right now, and I have no fear of being robbed. I have no fear of doing this at Gare du Nord. So I just encourage people who sometimes feel that places with a lot of immigrants or places that are different than the communities that they know are necessarily, unsafe for you to visit. As always, you have to have some street sense. You have to be aware of your surroundings. But I wouldn't let it scare you off of taking a travel plan that you want to take. Life's too short to feel like that. What I showed you a moment ago is a more modern glass attachment to the Gare du Nord station. And right across from the station, actually, I need to have a morning coffee, so maybe it'll be a nicer experience sitting in one of those cafes than just standing in the station. So hopefully I can do this without missing my train. I'm going to show you the front of Gare du Nord. We're going to have a café allongé, as they say in France, and then we're going to catch this train. Fresh juice, strong coffee, warm croissant, and the smell of a cigarette wafting in the restaurant from a nearby table. This, my friends, is Paris. Okay, my friends, we are caffeinated and ready to go. Try not to get run over by a taxi, and let's get to this train station. A little bit of construction work in front of me will make it hard to give you a perfect view, but still, you can see what a stunning station this really is here. It's not just Notre Dame Cathedral and other famous buildings that have remarkable stone statues and history in Paris. It really is this whole city that's a marvel to look at. By the way, if you're new here and you enjoy this casual type of video, I encourage you to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel as we look at a very American burger chain as we enter into this iconic French train station. Not sure how I feel about that, but hey, they do make a good burger, what can I say? But let's focus, because as you can tell, we have a lot going on here. And that's me, I think. Cologne HBF. Hall 1. There's not yet a track number. That shows you just how many trains they have here in Gare du Nord. My train leaves in 20 minutes. They haven't even given it a track number yet because there's constantly trains arriving and leaving. As a Canadian, I'm so jealous of this train infrastructure. Our stations have 2 or 3 trains leaving a day. It's just nothing compared to what they have here in France or Germany. They also appear to have free Wi-Fi, which is good for any traveler to know about. Okay, there it is. Track number 8. The Eurostar. So I am coach 28, seat 23, okay? Help me remember that, YouTube. 28, 23, 28, 23. You know what's funny? Even as I say that, I guarantee I'm going to forget that, like, in the next 20 seconds. I know there's some train lovers watching videos like this, so let me just get some shots of the train itself. Very stylish. Tinted windows, okay. I see you, Eurostar, I see you. I couldn't even tell if there was a driver in there. I mean, there must be, right? I don't think it's automated. Okay, 28, 23. So that was car 1, this is car 2. Surely they don't have 28 cars, can they? Eurostar Cafe. Did anyone notice before I did what just happened? This isn't my train. I got so carried away by it saying Eurostar and the fact that I was on track 8. I just imagined, but I think this one is going to Brussels. I thought it was going to Brussels and then to Cologne, but here I'm going to ask. Bonjour, monsieur. C'est pas à Cologne?
Devant.
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 The second part of the train.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the next part of it.
Thank you. I'm so confused. So this is the train. I thought it wasn't the train, and then I asked that guy. I said, "Excuse me, this isn't to Cologne," and he said, "Devant." And I was like, "What?" At first, I thought he said like devant, like 220. But no, he said devant, which means in front. So the second part of the train goes to Cologne. Any Europeans watching must be laughing at my confusion here, but you got to understand, for any North Americans, taking a train like this is another world. A strange, confusing world where the government actually invests in train infrastructure. Now here you can see, I guess this can detach. I mean, I gotta hurry because I might have a long way to walk, but I just wanted to show you those two kissing trains. That was pretty funny. This is an adventure already. I must be right at the end. I feel like I've walked halfway to Cologne by the time I get to my seat. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur. Ce sera à votre gauche, s'il vous plaît.
Merci. Wow, so I am literally at the very, very front of the train. Okay. Seems like there's someone sitting right beside me. I was hoping to have a bit of space. It's always easier to film these videos. At least I feel less like I'm bothering people around me when I have space, but I'll do my best to show you what it looks like. Here's, obviously they're used to people having big suitcases, so plenty of space for everyone, I believe. And the spot that I have is going to be 4 seats where you have a little table and you're like facing the people in front of you. Well, we're just pulling out of the Gare du Nord station, and instead of talking to you like this at my seat, I decided I would just sit out here. There's 3 or 4 seats in the little in-between car area, and it's actually pretty comfortable here. I might have more room here than at my seat, but for the moment I'll just be here to give you some first impressions of this train. It's definitely, like, It's okay comfort-wise. I wouldn't say it's like a super comfortable train. I imagine that there's a first class that I didn't purchase that might be more comfortable. I think there's a cafe somewhere. I might go looking for that later. And of course you can stand up and you can stretch your legs, so that's always nice too. The windows are quite small. They don't have a big scenic window view. Maybe for the French or Germans, they think this isn't a scenic train ride. They don't have to show you the views, but for tourists like me, it's always interesting. So if anyone designing these trains watches this video, please give us bigger windows. Always love big windows. Anyway, I think I'm gonna take a little seat and enjoy this train ride. Talk to you soon. If you've ever wondered what it looks like to travel nearly 300 kilometers per hour on a train, here you go. The strange thing is, at these speeds, you almost lose your sense of perspective. It's only when you try to look at how quickly those telephone poles are just zooming by that you have some idea. But in the distance, your eyes can kind of play a trick on you and think you're not going that quick. But as you see those bridges fly by, you really know what I'm talking about. Now we're about an hour into this journey. We're about to leave France. And then we're going to be making, I believe our first stop is in Brussels. And, if I look at this, yeah, this is the French and Belgian border. Oh my God, we just jumped over it. That's how quickly we're going. I can't even keep up with this video. So we're now officially in Belgium. So the first part of the journey is mostly north, and then we're going to be cutting to the east through Belgium. I wonder if we will get a little slice of the Netherlands. It's possible that we'll be going through the Netherlands as well, but mostly Belgium, and then of course into Germany for the final stretch. There are times that we've slowed down to 120 kilometers or 150 kilometers, but now, and for most of the ride, we've just been cruising at these very fast speeds. But I thought I'd take a moment and check out that cafe car, which is just a couple cars down. Pretty smooth train ride. I can make it through without having to hold on too much, without bumping into too many people. And here we are. I can see the little cafe up ahead. The train's actually pretty full. At first I thought it was just my section, but going through there I would say, nearly every seat on the train is taken. I was able to book this ticket. When did I book it? I think about 3 days ago. You should be able to get tickets last minute, but keep in mind this is September, so I guess this is kind of the end of the tourist season for a lot of people. So, if you are booking something in the summertime, or if you have a big group, you probably want to plan ahead. But if you're a solo traveler or something like that, I think even the same day you should probably be able to get tickets. And there were some people, drinking beers and playing cards, standing up in the dining car. I didn't really film them because I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. But if you're a group, or if you're seated in different areas of the train and you want to meet up with someone, I think that cafe is a good place to do it. Pretty reasonable prices. slightly more than you would pay in a cafe off of a train. It was like €4 for a coffee or tea, €6 for a sandwich. Those are higher prices, but not like crazy high prices. Much cheaper than you see on a lot of airlines, for example. You know, Brussels is one of those cities that doesn't have as much to do or see as a place like Paris or Berlin or the other European capitals that a traveler might visit. So sometimes people overlook Belgium and Brussels. But I've always enjoyed my time here. I find Belgian people to be really relaxed. And yeah, as far as smaller capitals go, I've always enjoyed my time in Brussels. Everyone's favorite part of the video, bathroom tour. That's all, folks. Welcome to Germany, my friends. Wow, check out this train station. What a change from where we got on. Very interesting industrial station. I'll give you another look at the front of our Eurostar train. There were a couple more stops that I didn't show you. We stopped in another city in the east of Belgium, and then we had another stop in Germany. I don't know where that was, but most people seem like we're going all the way to Cologne. Well, I am very excited to go outside. So I am going to end this video by taking you outside briefly into the city of Cologne. Everything in the station seems nice and organized, clean, dare I say efficient. I'm just using all the German words I can think of now. Honestly, it is a very nice station. Wow, there's even a hotel here, so they make it easy for travelers. I like to see that. One more thing I'm going to tell you about the train ride that I enjoyed was, you know, you probably noticed that the screens on each car would give you information like your current speed and what the next stop is. They also did something interesting, which it would tell you how many minutes delayed the train was. And we ended the train ride 6 minutes late. We were supposed to get in at 3:15, we got in at 3:21. And it would tell you, as you were driving, it would tell you like, current arrival time 6 minutes late. So basically you don't have to guess if you have a tight connection, if you're gonna make it or not. It tells you right on the screen. And I thought that was a very nice little touch. But enough about that, my friends, because in front of me, just outside of the Cologne train station, check out this cathedral. Absolutely epic. Check out this dancing Ukrainian dog, too. Lots of stuff happening here in Germany. But I thought I would end today's video with a nice shot of this famous cathedral. Thank you, as always, for joining me on this ride. If you'd ever like to support me on this, I have a Patreon account. I also have a link where you can send a few bucks on PayPal. Help buy me some snacks for my next train ride. But I think that's all for today, my friends. One last look at the front of the cathedral in the German city of Cologne. Epic.